Hey guys, welcome. Yeah, Ashley. Yeah, I think I've seen all you guys before. Hey everyone. I've decided to not put music on for the first 5 minutes like I normally do, because I'm usually talking to you all anyway to begin with. So welcome back. I think everyone here has come to at least one workshop with us. So you might have seen the email that I sent you in regards to the giveaways and everything. I'm going to be organizing that after the last workshop, just so we can do everything all at once. So I have everyone's information. I've been tracking who's come to how many, and et cetera, et cetera. So if you have any questions about that, please do let me know. But I'm doing well. Thank you, Sanika. How are you doing? How's everybody doing on this rainy day and like week that we've been having? Extremely rainy. Super duper rainy. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm officially recording for YouTube. If anyone needs to look back at it, those are always on YouTube. So welcome everybody to our 4th Go with the Flow workshop. And today's workshop is going to be going over a little bit more of some strengthening postures as well as some balancing postures. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about crescent lunge, or otherwise known as a high lunge. We're going to add a twist to that as well. Then we're going to explore chair twists or twisting chair. And then for our balancing postures, we're going to explore tree, eagle, and dancer. Now, you might know some of these poses. I mean, tree is like the most obvious one, right? But my hope is that I'll able to guide you through some common misalignments that occur in these poses so that you can prevent any injury and just make sure that you're doing it correctly. So let's get started. And as always, please interrupt me if you have any questions. You can unmute yourself and I'll hear it if I'm like over there, or I'll be looking at the chat periodically as well. So you know how it goes. Interrupt me whenever you need to, and we're just going to get started, okay? So our first pose is a high crescent lunge. The Sanskrit name is the same as the low crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, but this one, as you can see, the back knee is lifted. So this is also known maybe as like a runner's lunge, but we are lifted in the upper body. So a little bit different than a runner's lunge as well. So as you can see, we are working all of the major leg muscles and smaller stabilizer muscles. So it's not just like a burnout for your quads and your booty, but also it requires a decent amount of strength in the ankles and even in the feet. And that is like a big point of this posture, is having a really nice grounding presence in the feet so that you can sink deeper into your front knee and get more out of the pose. Yeah. So while you're doing that, you'll feel the front of your hip, otherwise known as your psoas muscles, those open up. The glute also helps to stretch open. And this pose in particular is a really great one to prepare for deeper hip opening postures, okay? So we're improving balance and stability, strength, but we're also preparing for deeper, more flexibility-oriented poses, yeah? So what does that even look like to begin with? Let me spotlight. So I forgot to say this, but grab a mat or an open space or carpet or whatever, so that we can try this all on together. And we're just going to do it on one side for now, but when I go into the full flow, we can go ahead and try it out on both sides as well, okay? So for right now, I want you to find your regular tabletop. We're gonna come into this pretty gently today. So come into your regular tabletop and then simply step your right foot through your palms. You might need to guide your foot up there, totally fine. We're just gonna come first to a low lunge, right? So this is our low lunge. Now I want you to tuck your back toes under, lift your knee, and then from here, start to get light on your fingertips until you can come all the way up to stand. As you can see, my back toes are lifted, or I'm sorry, my back heel is lifted. And for right now, I want you to interlace your fingertips on top of your knee, okay? Another thing you can do here is grab hold onto your hips and then pull your right hip crease back so that it's in line with your left. From here, I want you to sit a little bit lower. And again, you should be feeling this through the front of your left hip, but also a lot of strength in the hamstring and the quad. I did a leg day yesterday, I'm sore. And then if you feel comfy here, maybe you lift your fingertips up, all right? Go ahead and take a knee, come down, shake it out. We're gonna try it one more time. And I believe somebody was in the waiting room. Nope, okay, never mind. Let me spotlight myself again. So let's try that one more time. This time, I want you to be aware of your core, okay? Sometimes what happens is that we pop out the booty and arch the back. I want you to draw the belly button back and the tailbone under, okay? So go ahead, find your low lunge, curl the back toe under and lift. And then when you're ready, come all the way up to stand, sweep the fingertips up. Hug your inner thighs in towards each other and then a little bit lower. See if you can stack your back heel over your back toes and then engage your left quad. And now finally, slightly tuck your tailbone under so that you can take that arch out of your low back. All right, awesome. Go ahead and bring the hands down, lower the knee. Great job. So that's your crescent lunge. It's your high lunge. And it's something that we can go into a variety of other postures from. It's very much a foundational part of it. So the difference between that and like a warrior is mainly your back foot. In warriors, your back foot is pivoted. In crescent lunge, your back foot is lifted. So that's going to be the biggest thing. And this one, like I said, is going to get you into other poses moving forward as well. Any questions? And we're going to go through it again later, so no worries, in case you have any questions later. All right. So I just mentioned adding on to it. And so crescent lunge twist. We're going to do a modified and a full version or a more progressive version of this pose. So no worries, you'll get to choose what feels best for you today. So the Sanskrit name is still Anjaneyasana, but we add Pavrita, which is your twist. So Pavrita Anjaneyasana. And so what we are doing here is adding a twist so that it helps to do a couple of things. We're stimulating internal organs by restricting blood flow when we twist. So when we twist, we're starting to restrict some of the blood flow to those organs. And then when we release, that helps to increase the blood flow and increase circulation to those organs as well. So twists are really good for creating a little bit more of energy, first of all. Anytime that we are increasing circulation, we are helping to increase energy, but it's also really good for detoxification. And this one in particular is going to help tone the muscles in your hips, your abs, your shoulders, and your legs, right? So when we're talking about a crescent lunge, it truly is a full body experience. You need everything involved. And then when we're talking a crescent lunge twist, even more so. So that's why it's increasing your focus and your mindfulness, because you really need to become so kinetically aware of all of these different things that are happening in your body at the same time. So crescent lunge twist, if you guessed it, we are going to start from a crescent lunge. And so in order to even out the body, let's go ahead and do the left side for this one so that we're not only doing everything on the right. So for this one, come into your crescent lunge the same way that you would. Move myself a little bit here. Come into your crescent lunge the same way we did on the other side, yeah? So your left foot this time is going to step through your palms from a tabletop. Tuck your back toe under, lift the knee. From there, ground down through your left heel, slowly come up to stand. This time, I want you to bring your hands to heart center, all right? And let's first do the modified version. Everyone go ahead and drop your back knee. So drop your back knee, hands at heart center. First, look over to the left. And then from here, hook your elbow to the outside of your knee. Hands are still at heart center, elbows are out wide. So this is your modified crescent lunge twist. You're pressing into your bottom palm so that you can twist open the chest, drawing your palms closer to the center of your torso. You're pushing your knee out towards your elbow. So instead of letting your knee come in, I want you to push out on your elbow so that you can create this opposition. And then from there, slowly start to twist. All right, so this is your modified version. If you want a little bit more, tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee, keeping it straight. Again, pressing into your palm, twisting open. Be careful not to dump your upper body down. See if you can pull the belly button back a little bit and then twist. All right, awesome. Come back to your low lunge. Shake it out. And that is your crescent lunge twist. So like I said, the benefits there are a ton of full body strengthening, but at the same time, we're doing that twist, which helps to stimulate all the internal organs as well. And like I said earlier, we're going to put it together into a mini flow at the very end. So yeah, these are the two more challenging ones. And we're going to talk about how to progress and modify them later too. All right, so another twist. So this is your chair twist. As you can see for the Sanskrit name, we still have Padrita, which just means a twist. And Utkatasana is the name of chair pose. So we went over chair pose a couple of workshops ago. So just be aware of that, first of all, is that we've already gone over chair. So I'm not going to explain chair. I'm just going to explain chair twist. All right. So the benefits of a chair twist, again, include stimulating those internal organs. So like I said, when we're doing a twist, we are slightly constricting the blood flow to those internal organs. And then when we release it, we're increasing the circulation in order to stimulate those organs better. As you can see, since we're sitting in a chair, we're going to be strengthening glutes and calves, as well as ankles and feet. A lot of this that we're doing today and that we're talking about today have to do with strengthening and stabilizing ankles and feet. And it helps to open the shoulders, chest, and strengthen the back too. So lots of good things. I love me a good twist. And when it comes to the chair twist, there are pretty much only ways to progress the posture, not necessarily too many modifications, but we will talk about what you need to do in order to make sure you're experiencing your chair twist to the most comfortable degree of your ability to, okay? So we just twisted to the left. So let's all twist to the right this time. So go ahead and find your chair pose. I'm gonna bring you up a little bit. Yeah, that works. So find your chair pose, feet together to touch, sit low, lift up the hands. This time, bring your hands to heart center. Take a look over to the right, hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. All right, now what are we doing? Keep the hips low. I even have a tendency to do this. That is not a chair twist. We need to sit, right? So sit nice and low. Take a second to make sure your knees are in line with each other. Sometimes we have a tendency to pop out the opposite knee. And then again, you're pressing into your bottom palm to twist open the chest and maybe even gaze up. Awesome. Take another breath in. And when you're ready, exhale, maybe forward fold over your legs, release. Take a second here. And Sophia, did you have a question? I thought I saw maybe that you put the raised hand, but let me know.
Sorry.
So yes, that is your chair twist. So another twist, that's the last one that we're going to talk about today. But we're going to put everything together at the end with a mini flow as well. So questions about chair twist? Nope. All right, we'll keep it moving.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, tell me.
Is it normal for it to be like a little bit of back pain when you do the twist? Like it feels a little bit uncomfortable?
Where in the back?
Like that side, the opposite side to where you're turning from.
So it's more of the side waist?
Yeah.
So you're saying when we twisted to the right, you felt pain in your left side?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
like where the ribs are a little bit.
Say that one more time.
Like in the rib area, back side.
Okay, so like towards here.
Yeah.
So, that could be a couple of things. And what I would probably recommend is that instead of hooking your elbow to the knee, try and just twist. Because you might be like cranking it. You know what I mean? You might need a little bit more back flexibility in that area. So instead of hooking your elbow to the knee, just try twisting as much as you can until that point, right, that you're feeling that discomfort, and then stay there. And then that way, you know that your work sort of comes from needing to increase that range of motion in your back. So just always go to the point where it feels a little uncomfortable and then stay there instead of trying to force it, putting the elbow all the way to the knee. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Happy I can help. Thank you for asking. And yes, please, if anything feels uncomfortable, always let me know and I will give you as many different modifications as I can. Cool. Okie pokey. So we're going to move to some balancing postures. The first one being tree pose, otherwise known as vrikshasana. Vrikshasana. I've never said this name in Sanskrit out loud. Vrikshasana. I like to include the Sanskrit names because we like to understand the origins of the poses, and each part of the name indicates something else. So vriksha is tree, asana is pose. So yeah, the more you know. So tree pose, it's like the most common, like, ooh, look at me, I'm doing yoga pose, right? And it actually is doing a lot for the body all at once. So what we're doing here is, yes, balancing, but we're also creating a lot of strength in the ligaments in the feet and the ankles. And that's what balance is helping to create those synapses that say, okay, I'm on one foot, let me turn on these little tiny muscles in my feet and my ankles. So those are really important for us as we're walking, running, doing any other type of exercise. This is super important. It prevents so much injury. Walking in heels, you know, like, again, so much prevention going on in balancing postures. And then lastly, it also helps to create more pelvic stability. So you know how I was mentioning earlier that just generally speaking, we have a tendency to pop out the booty a little bit, like when we walk, we arch the back. Tree pose helps to combat that because in order to stay tall, we really do need to tuck the tailbone under. So you'll see what I mean in a second. And I'm going to give everybody a lot of different variations as well, because this one looks different for every single body. Okay, so consistent. All right, so everybody go ahead and stand at the top of your mat wherever you want. Just take a nice tall stance. Bring your feet together to touch. And we're gonna start on the right side. So this means we're gonna balance on our left leg, all right? So simply start to shift your weight over onto your left leg so that you can lift your right leg straight up. Just want you to feel what it feels like to balance on your left leg alone. Keep a tiny micro bend in your knee. So don't lock out your knee. Try and keep it a little bit bent in your standing leg, like just a tiny bit. All right, 3 options for where to put your foot. You can kickstand your toe on the ground. Your right knee comes out. Or you can bring it up to your calf. All right, you might already notice wobbling, all right? So just notice that and try and center yourself. Then if you feel good there, maybe you want to bring your foot up into your inner thigh. These leggings are a little slippery. So maybe you want to bring your foot up to your inner thigh. That can work too. Regardless of which level you are on, I'm going to stay down here today. I want you to push your foot into your leg. Whoop, and then push your leg into your foot. Now everybody look at one little speck of something out in front of you. I'm looking at a speck of dirt on my floor that I'll have to vacuum up later. But stare at that one point, okay? That's what's helping you with your balance as well, because where your mind goes, your body goes. And now finally, bring your hands to your heart center. Lift your chest up towards your thumbs. Push your hands together. Really actively find that center, that midline. All right, cool. Stay here for one more breath in. And awesome. Exhale, release. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Woo. Okay. Tree pose. The most yogi pose. The one that we all see everybody doing. So yes, lots of things going on with tree, lots of different variations as well. I'll give you even more variations later. Any questions? Nope. Okay. I continue. So 2 more. So we have eagle or garandasana. And so this is another balancing pose. This one is going to challenge your balance in a different way because it's very bound, as you can see. We're binding the arms and we're binding the legs. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, it went away. All right, oh well. So we're binding the arms and we're binding the legs. And what you see in this photo is full eagle, but I'm going to break down even more and give you more options on how to modify it as well. But we are stretching, opening the upper back, the space between the shoulder blades. So this is really good to do somewhat regularly, especially if you're sitting all day, because we're creating a lot of resistance and sort of constriction so that when you release it, you're able to open out even more. So you have a big sense of just release after this pose. But it also helps to improve your concentration, your sense of balance, your mindfulness, and then we're always strengthening those ankles, those calves, and helping with that too. I don't know what just happened with my my sharing, but okay. So yeah, eagle pose. So I'm gonna give you tons of options, so don't worry. So come back up to stand. And I'm gonna show you facing this way so you can see everything that I'm doing. So bring your feet together to touch and start by crossing your right leg over. For right now, keep your big toe on the ground, all right? We're not worrying about that. So just start by crossing your right leg over your left. Okay. From here, I want you to bring your right arm under your left, like an X, and then up, like a big X, And then maybe the backs of your hands touch each other, or maybe the palms of your hands can touch each other as you take a double wrap. So decide, maybe the backs of your hands are touching, maybe the palms. That might be way too much also. So to break it down even more, your right hand can come under your left and you give yourself a big hug. Grab onto your shoulders. Wherever you're at, I want you to lift your elbows so that they're up in line with your shoulders. So if you're giving yourself your hug, elbows up in line with your shoulders. If you're giving yourself that wrap or the double wrap, elbows up in line with the shoulders. All right, those are the arms. What are we doing with the legs? You can keep your big toe on the ground on a kickstand and then just sit low. That's an option. Or you can lift your toe, cross your leg over once, single wrap. And later, maybe, or maybe today, you can wrap your foot around your calf for a double wrap. Now, the only thing to keep in mind with that is please don't force it. Like, honestly, for me, it doesn't feel good. So I don't want to do it because I also haven't practiced in a long time, right? So for me, a single wrap feels great. That's how I'm going to end. So don't force it, right? Take whatever feels best. So, all right, we're here. Sit nice and low. The other thing is that you want to be sitting low while lifting your elbows. And then the same thing, bring your gaze to one spot. All right, great job. Slowly come out of it. Shake it out. And that was your eagle, your Garandasana pose. So we have that one. I see we have a chat. Yes, it's totally normal to be wobbly with this one. And that's why I said, you have your 3 levels. Keep your toe on the ground, cross it once, double wrap, whatever feels best for you on that moment in that day. There are going to be days where you feel like your sense of balance is better than other days. That's just the truth, right? So, and I honestly, my favorite part about yoga is that everybody always has something to work on. And that's why we feel such a good sense of accomplishment with like learning new yoga poses, right? Is because we're working on them and we're really seeing the benefits of our practice every time that we show up in practice. So wobbly is good, is basically what I mean. All right, so our last pose for today before we put them all together is dancer pose. Other than tree, I would say this is the other one that we all do where it's like, look at me, I do yoga, right? It's Natarajasana. And basically, it is a big heart opener. That's the point of this pose is we're really truly opening out the heart, the chest, the shoulders are coming back. This is a really nice heart opening pose. But we're still strengthening, right? So the strength is really coming from our standing leg. So strength in the calves and the ankles, the quad, as well as even the core, right? We have to keep a stable core here in order to stay balanced because we're utilizing our torso in this pose as well. But lastly, it also helps to improve your hamstring flexibility of your standing leg. Dancer is basically like a little bit of a standing half split type of vibe. So it's really helping to improve a lot of the flexibility in the standing leg as well. Yes, this one's super yoga. This one is very yoga. So this is the one that when you go on vacation, you can like tell someone to take a picture of you. Very yoga. So, so let's go ahead and do dancer together. And we're just going to do one side, but when we go through that whole little mini flow that I told you guys about, then we'll do both sides, okay? So back up to stand. You know the drill. Let's go ahead and stop the share for now. Back up to stand. And we're gonna do the right side first. So we'll do the left side later, okay? So back up to stand, same thing. Start to bring your weight onto your left palm. Kick your heel back towards your glute. Just start there. Reach for the inside of your right foot. So your hand is to the arch of the foot, externally rotating the arm. From here, I want you to start to lift your right leg straight up. Keep your knee in. So the biggest thing I see with dancer is that people do this, right? And that is really bad for your low back. My low back. I have messed up my low back doing that many times. So keep your knee hugged in towards the center and then go straight back, all right? So what this does is that it's lifting your chest and your upper back before even touching your lower back. So we're going straight up, keep lifting your chest, drawing your shoulder blades back. All right, now, maybe shake it out, take a second, because we're going really slow. So what are you doing with your left hand, you might ask? There's a lot of options. So come back into your dancer, however you were. I like to act as if I was gonna give someone a high five in front of me. So this helps me to stabilize. Remember to keep your knee suck in that knee, and then kick up and back, kicking into your palm. And same thing, your gaze comes to one little spot. Okay, awesome, release. Woo. I really need to go to yoga today, guys. It's gonna kill me though, I know it. I know because I haven't gone for so long that it's gonna be a lot. But that's the point, that's the point. So, any questions about dancer? I go to a studio called Casa Vinyasa. It's also where I teach. So I take classes for free. Yes. Any questions about dancer pose? Anything like that? Are we ready for a flow and putting it together with breath? Yes? Sounds good? All right. I am not going to explain the poses again this time. We're just going to go through them. So I hope we retained. If after the flow, you're like, wait, can we review that again? Let me know and we can go over it again, okay? So let's start in tabletop. Hands over wrists, hips over knees. Hope you can see me. Yeah, you can see me. Cool. All right, perfect. So starting your tabletop. Step your right foot through the palms, curl the back toes under, lift up, high crescent lunge. Bring your hands to heart center, twist over to the right, hooking your elbow to the knee. Keep your back knee lifted or lowered, whatever you want. Really press into your bottom palm, twist up and up. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, twist even more. One more inhale, fill up. As you exhale, come back up, crescent lunge. Step your back foot forward, chair twist to the left. Hands back to heart center, twist. Either hooking the elbow or simply twisting over to the left. Take a big breath as you lengthen the spine. Exhale to twist even more. One more big breath in. As you exhale, forward fold at the top of your mat, release. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, find your tabletop, lower the knees. Awesome. We're gonna do that on the left, ready? On your inhale, step your left foot through the palms. Curl the back toe under, lift the back knee, high lunge. Make sure you draw your left hip back. Hands come to heart center, find a crescent twist to the left. Make sure that you're lengthening through the crown of the head, lifting the chest. Big inhale to fill up. Exhale, twist even more. One more inhale in. Exhale, come up to stand, high lunge. Look forward, step your back foot forward, chair twist to the right. Hands back to heart center. Twist as much as it feels comfy for you. Make sure you sit nice and low. Maybe look up. One more big inhale in. And exhale, forward fold, release. Slowly roll all the way up to stand. Take your time at the top of your mat. I'm gonna walk back a little bit so you can still see me. And on your inhale, sweep your fingertips up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tree pose on the right. Your version. Stand up nice and tall. Lift your chest to your thumbs. Bring your gaze to one point. Slightly tuck the tailbone under, ground down through your left foot. One more inhale in. As you exhale, eagle on the right. Cross your right leg over. Your right arm comes under. And same thing, you might keep the toe on the ground. You might do a single wrap. Lift your elbows up in line. Sit a little bit lower. Take another full inhale in. As you exhale, unwrap the arms, uncross the legs, dancer. See if you can go straight into it. Grab the inside edge of your foot, slowly kick back. Take your time. Balance is about patience. So slowly start to kick into your palm. Make sure you bring your knee in towards your midline. One more breath in. As you exhale, release the palm or release the foot. Shake it out at the top of your mat. One more side. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tree pose on the left. So take your time, take your tree. And something you can also do with your hands if you wish is maybe lift them straight up. We call this growing your branches. So like this. So maybe we do this, lift the chest. Take one more big breath in. As you exhale, cross your left leg over, eagle, left arm under. You can also give yourself a big hug. Remember, you don't need to do the eagle arms in order to do eagle. Sit low, like a chair. Lift the elbows, you got it. Give me one more full breath in. As you exhale, unravel everything, find dancer on the left. Maybe go into it right away. Find your left foot. Slowly start to kick straight back and up. That's the key. Maybe you high five your invisible friend. Take one more breath in. Awesome. As you exhale, come back to stand. Sweep it up. And sigh it out. Shake it out. Shake it out. Shake it out. Woo! I'm a little sweaty. Is anyone else a little sweaty? Yeah. It's still part of our strengthening ones, but the good news is next week it's all stretchy, restorative, yummy stuff. So get ready for that. So do we have any questions? Is there anything that I called that you were like, wait, I don't actually know what I'm doing there? Do we want to review anything? It was great, awesome, happy. Anything anyone's like, whoa, what did we do? No? Okay. Well, I'll be here if anyone has any questions we can review. But if not, thank you so much for coming, for attending, for practicing, for learning. Like I had mentioned before, we're going to distribute the giveaways after the end of the final workshop, which is next Wednesday. It's the 22nd. Next Thursday? No, sorry. It's next Tuesday, maybe the 20th. I'll have to double check on that. I should remember that, right? I'm teaching these. But the point is that we are going to distribute these after. So if you've attended one workshop, you get the tote bag. If you've attended 3 or more, then you also get the t-shirt. So I'm just keeping track on those based on the evaluation that you fill out right now. So please make sure you fill out the evaluation. Go to fiu.edu/flow eval, and I will put it in the chat as well. Let me go ahead and stop